I'm going to be talking about some PlayStation stock woes. Unfortunately, PlayStation stock recently dropped $10 billion, which is a pretty steep decline. So the reason it likely fell was probably due to adjusted PS5 sales forecast. Originally, they had expected 25 million units sold in the 2023 fiscal year, but due to winter sales, they lowered that to 21 million. So they lowered that by 4 million right there. And that was probably one of the reasons. The other likely reason is due to lower than expected operating margins in the last fiscal quarter. So that is possibly due to software development costs. Because of these margins getting smaller and because they are not selling as many units as they had predicted, unfortunately, that means that the stock has dropped. If you are looking to buy PlayStation stock, who knows, maybe now might actually be a good time now that it has dropped, because it will likely be doing better in the future. But yeah, unfortunately right now it's not very good. There are other announcements though that might potentially also have hurt it significantly. One of them is that one of the people at Sony recently said that the PlayStation was entering the later stages of its life cycle. A lot of people mistook that to mean that it was in the last stage of its life cycle, meaning that the PlayStation 5 is essentially done. There's been rumors of the PS6 coming out in maybe 3 years or so, which might lead people to think, why even bother getting a PlayStation at this point if I'm just going to get a PlayStation 5 if a PlayStation 6 is just right around the corner. There's also rumors of the PlayStation 5 Pro coming later this year at some point, which actually, if anything, if they do announce the PlayStation 5 Pro, the stock probably will go up. So again, that might be now might be a good time to buy it. But the other thing that they announced was that there are no major first-party titles that would launch until at least March 2025. So that doesn't mean that there will be no first-party titles, and it doesn't mean that there are going to be no exclusives, but there's going to be no major ones. So we're not going to be getting any God of War or Horizon Forbidden West 3 or whatever, Days Gone, Uncharted, none of those big name ones. We might get some smaller ones. We're definitely getting some like adjacent ones. Like for instance, we're getting Project Eve in, was it February, March, April. We're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth this month in just a few days. Today's what, the 22nd here in Taiwan. It comes out on the 29th. So in 7 days, in 1 week, we're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's coming out soon. So there are going to be exclusive games. They're just not going to be first party, and they're not going to be major franchises. So take that as you will.